When a parent is in the car and somebody cuts you off on the highway and you say something, oh, I don't do that. And then later they hear their kid go, oh, Bobby, he's a jerk. Don't talk like that. Where'd you learn that language? Huh? Cut it out. Then they see them, cut it out. You ever watch a teenager drive? Ever watch the dad? Observation, interaction, participation. They're observing you. Interact with them. Include them. It's intrinsic in all human beings. We want to be included. Include them. Interact with them. Participation are the words we use in our head. Remember when I said emotional intelligence is utilization of your emotions, the thoughts in your head, the words you say out loud, the actions you take. Participation are those words in your head. So here's a story. My mom did that all the time with us. She was an amazing person. So one of the things she taught us from the time we were little, we were growing up on a farm, we were dependent upon every single thing that we grew and the animals we raised. Fortunately, we had tons of food. We lived on a farm. Otherwise, we could not afford it. But maybe you're working really, really hard and Mom might go, hey, you can do this thing in this moment. Isn't that a great phrase? You can do this thing this moment. Do you think I used that one during labor? And I learned it as a kid. What you're teaching your children now with those phrases that you use, you can do this thing in this moment. So I'm a little teeny tiny girl. My mom, hey, Suze, we can do this thing in this moment. Hey, you can do this thing in this moment. My brother, hey, David, you can do this thing in this moment. And then I'm 11 and a half years old and we are in a car accident where drunk teenagers hit us and almost killed my whole entire family. My father was in the hospital 2 months, my brother 2 months, my other brother was not with us. My mother was in the hospital 2.5 months, and we are staying at the neighbors, and they don't have a lot of money either. And I'm 11 and a half years old. This is emotional intelligence at work, you guys. This is what you're helping your little kids now to be who they might be tomorrow, right? So I leave that house and I walk a quarter of a mile down the street. I can do this thing in this moment. I can do this thing in this moment. And then I walk up 300 and some feet to our house. And I go up to our door. Hey, Buffy, I'm coming. I love you, Buffy. Oh, you're just the best dog. I just love you. I'm here, honey. I am here. Oh, yeah. Oh, and there's the kid. Oh, Smokey, you're so wonderful. Come on, I'll give you guys your food. Come on, you're wonderful. Oh, yeah. This is great. This is wonderful. Okay, come on. And I'll leave the door open and you can come outside. It's okay, great. Oh, and then I run outside and I feed the pigs and I feed the chickens and I feed the sheep and I'm doing all this stuff and I'm a little teeny kid and I'm feeding them and I'm getting the feed and I'm giving them the water and I'm dragging the hose and I'm turning on the spigot and I can do this thing in this life. I can do this thing in this moment. I can do this thing. I can do this thing in this moment. I can do this thing. And then I go and I put them in the house. And then I go and I get a peck basket. And then I pick beans and I pick tomatoes and I pick lettuce because the family I'm staying with has 5 kids and they're hungry too. And I pick all that and I go down to the edge of the driveway. And then I put it on the edge of the driveway. And then I walk a half a mile more down this way down the road. And then I walk 1.5 miles up a dirt road through a forest. And on that other road is a hospital. And in those days, they wouldn't let kids in hospitals. And my mom is in that hospital. My brother and my dad are in Cleveland. We're way out in the country. And my mother had her arm basically pulled off her body and sewed back on. She's the first person to have the ulnar nerve severed and reattached and partially worked. She comes to the window like this. I'm knocking on her. Hi, Mom. Everything's okay. I fed the dog and I took care of the cats. And I even picked food for Stormy's family. And I can do this thing in this moment, Mom. I can do it. Everything's okay. And my mom looks at me and she goes, of course you can. You're my daughter. You can do this thing in this moment. And I go back down and walk all the way back down, get in this orchard, climb an apple tree. I stuff my pants in my socks. And I fill my pants in my shirt that I've stuck in my pants with apples. And I walk like this. And And I pick up that stuff and I go up to Stormy's house and I take all the apples out and I wash them and put them in a big bowl and I take everything else out and wash it and take care of it and put it in the refrigerator because they have to eat too. Are you getting it? It's EQ. Those skills that allow us to persevere and become that which we most want to become, and your students too. And you have to practice it. It's like playing basketball. You know, if my mom would have told me that right before we had the accident, I wouldn't have been able to utilize that skill.